This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. This hour is going to be devoted to America's largest legalized fraud, timeshares. The timeshare industry has milked primarily middle and lower income Americans completely dry to the tune of billions and billions of dollars with unbelievably fraudulent sales tactics, offering and promising things that they never deliver, including an asset that is not an asset. An asset, by the way, by definition in financial terms, is something that you can sell and people will give you money for it. Your couch is more of an asset than a timeshare is, because somebody might actually buy your used couch. No one will buy your timeshare. It has absolutely no value. It has as much value as your reservation at the Days Inn. You want to try to sell your reservation at the Days Inn? Nope, nobody wants to buy your reservation at the Days Inn. And the only difference is the Days Inn's actually there. And people actually do get to sleep there occasionally. That would be the difference. If you have had a timeshare horror story, we're going to devote this hour to giving you a voice. You get to speak. You get to tell your story. Call right now. The phone number is 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. I want to hear your timeshare horror stories, and they will be a warning to unsuspecting people that otherwise might go in the tiger cage. If you haven't heard, the tiger cage is this. You're walking down the street innocently one day, and a guy runs up to you and says, "Hey, we're going to give you free passes for the entire year to the zoo." In order to get those passes, though, you need to spend 2 hours in the tiger cage, petting the tiger. Warning, the tiger has not been fed in several days, and he's a wee bit greedy and hungry. And so you go into the tiger cage and you pet the tiger for 2 hours, which of course means you get eaten. This is what going to a timeshare presentation in order to get free tickets to anything is. You're going in there, they're going to keep you in there 4 to 12 hours. They're going to badger the ever-loving crud out of you. They're going to use every technique and form of pressure on the planet. And suddenly your idea of, I got a free room while I'm on vacation, I got free tickets to the water park while I'm on vacation, has turned into the meeting from hell. And in order to just be set free from the tiger cage, you will sign anything. One of the worst among the timeshare companies is the largest, Diamond International. Courthouse News, Ventura, California. An 81-year-old man claims in court that Diamond Resorts International, a timeshare club, defrauded him of $50,000 and keeps trying to get more. Lewis Wolf claims Diamond Resorts International Club and 6 affiliates used high-pressure sales tactics to open credit cards in his name, run up bills on them before the plaintiff even realized the cards existed, and charged him more than $50,000 for, quote, membership services in Diamond Resorts International entities. Wolf sued Diamond Resorts on March 8th in Superior Court. He claims the abusive sales pitches on the phone and in person could last 4 or 5 hours, and despite the $50,000 they already took from him, he says they continued to harass him for upgrades to his, quote, membership. He's just a senior with the sort of normal cognitive challenges that comes from being an 81-year-old senior, Wolf's attorney, Eric Ridley, told Courthouse News. Ridley said his client is typical of many people his age and susceptible to high-pressure sales, which can be overwhelming. Get this one. Diamond International sends buses to senior communities to take them to Nevada. And once they get a name, there will be a nonstop barrage of phone calls. One Diamond timeshare owner told Morganson Diamond is much more ambitious and aggressive and downright nasty in their sales presentations. Diamond just has an amazing reputation of being rough on people. They reported $845 million in revenue last year, according to the Times article, which cites 2 other lawsuits similar to Wolf's, one in Florida, one in California. So, maybe you're like the 81-year-old Lewis Wolf, or you know someone who is. Or maybe you just went in the tiger cage and you've had an experience. Some of the stories are downright funny, the bizarre behavior of some of these timeshare salespeople. They are some unusually scummy people working in an unusually scummy business. You don't like me calling you scum? Well, I'll help you. You won't be scum when you go get a job where you're not ripping people off. You're right there with payday lenders. You're scum. You're screwing people, and you know it. You should be ashamed of yourself. Your grandmother should box your little ears for behaving the way you're behaving, selling this crap to people. It's ridiculous, and it's out of control, and it's a horrible product. I hope I haven't been unclear. If you've got a story, you call me, 888-825-5225. Mari is with us in Akron, Ohio. Hey, Mari, tell me your story.
Hey, Dave. Thanks for having me on today.
Sure.
First of all, my husband, Michael, and I have used timeshares for over 30 years. So I probably have a little bit more information on timeshares than the average person.
Okay.
One thing that you should know about is, in addition to the maintenance fees, which most all timeshares you are responsible for, if you want to exchange your week, you are going to deal with either RCI, which is affiliated with Wyndham, or Interval International. Now, there is a separate fee to belong to these clubs as well, and that's like maybe $149 a year, depending on how many years you commit to. Then when you go to exchange your week, even though you have paid your maintenance fees with your own company, you're going to pay these exchange companies $249 a week if you're traveling in the U.S., $299 a week if you're traveling international.
My God, why didn't you just stay at the Ritz?
Well,
would have been cheaper.
Exactly. I'm just explaining to you some of the other fees that people don't even know about.
Oh, I know. Yeah. I mean, this is amazing. Hey, I want to hear the rest of your story. Hold on with me through this break. I'll be right back with you. Well, wait, you paid $25,000 to stay at a hotel. I mean, that's what you just did. Come on, people. How in the world do they get away with this? Because we've been letting them. Well, not anymore. They're my new hobby. This is The Ramsey Show. Stop paying your overpriced wireless provider and switch to Pure Talk. They use the same network as the larger providers for much less. For just $30 a month, get unlimited talk, text, and 6 gigs of data with no contract. The average family saves over $70 a month by switching to Pure Talk. Just go to puretalk.com and enter the promo code Ramsey to save 50% off your first month. Pure Talk, simply smarter wireless. It's a timeshare hour as we talk about America's largest legalized fraud. One company, Diamond International, doing almost $1 billion a year. You know what a billion is? That's 1,000 million. That's a lot of people getting ripped off. All right, Mari is with us. She was telling us that she's been buying and dealing with, wait a minute, I did something wrong there, dealing with timeshares for 30 years, and she's talking about the fees for the exchanges, the annual fees, and then the exchange fee per company and per transaction to change. That's if you can get a week lined up. And I had to cut you off in the middle of a commercial there. So tell me the rest of the story, Mari.
Okay, well, now I'm going to tell you about somebody who has done this for 30 years who should have been a little bit smarter.
Uh-oh.
But in February of 2018, we went to Vallarta Gardens for a presentation. This is in Mexico, just north of Puerto Vallarta.
Mm-hmm.
And, we were in the tiger's cage, and we did not purchase, held firm, no, don't want it.
But you already owned some timeshares at that point, right?
Right, and we've bought ours off the secondary market.
Okay.
But yes, we had owned. But, nope, we didn't want this. So these timeshares are famous for you're not getting out. You've got the exit. It's almost like the exit interview, but then, they bring you in something else. Should have known better, Dave, but I paid $8,100 for travel package. It was supposed to be like on the lines of Travelocity where you're getting like bulk airfare. You can do things with like Viking Cruise Lines. Alarms should have been going off. But the one thing that made me feel a little bit safe, the company, we bought it at Vallarta Gardens in Mexico, but the company was a United States company, Getaway Travel Services in Nebraska. And I even talked to them when I was in Mexico, saw the website, everything looked good. Well, here it is, 2021. I have not been able to book any trips with them, use airfare, nothing. I do still hassle them to this day, trying to get the $8,100 back. I went to the Attorney General for Nebraska. They couldn't do anything, but this week I did let them know that 20 million listeners would be finding out about their company.
Good. Very well done. Okay. And so the name of this ripoff organization again is what? Getaway
Travel Services in Nebraska.
And what they really mean is, now that we got your $8,100, would you just get away?
There you go. But you know what, Dave? I am sort of a person that, I'm just going to harass them.
Yeah, I would. I would have $8,100 worth of fun out of it anyway, messing with them. Just messing with them to no end. I wonder if you could buy, I wonder how big an ad you could buy, like in the local paper or something.
In Nebraska?
No, in Puerto Vallarta.
Well, down there it's a little bit different. That's why I was glad that they were in the United States, but that really didn't turn out to be good anyway.
Yeah, no, but if a tourist happened to be looking through a tourist magazine and was going to wander into the Getaway Travel Tiger Cage, and they saw your ad that said, I got screwed by Getaway, stay away from them, get away. That might be fun. I don't know. You can have all kinds of fun with this. You might as well, because you've been taken. There's no question about that. I'm so sorry. Hey, thanks for sharing the story. As a warning. Douglas is with us in Los Angeles. Douglas, tell us about your timeshare mess.
Okay. Well, we've been timeshare owners for 5 years.
I'm sorry.
And we know that timeshare was not a good money investment. And we went ahead and did it because it was the first time our whole family, or our family, our kids and myself, saw my husband relax. And our kids are in high school. So this is the first time he relaxed. So we went ahead and did it.
It turns out that the trip is what he relaxed, not a timeshare.
Well, we've gone on trips before, but this place is just really relaxing.
Oh, so, I see.
I'm sure there's other places, but anyway. We went and July 2019, we upgraded from a presidential to a penthouse suite.
Wow, that must be nice.
And this...
How was the suite? Was it nice?
Yes, it's very nice.
How many times have you stayed in it?
Just once, because we've only upgraded once.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Back then.
Okay.
So anyway, this last trip at the beginning of this month, they put us in a presidential suite, thinking that we had a presidential, but really we have a penthouse. So we wanted to upgrade. We wanted something bigger for our next vacation. So we met with a salesperson on our own will, unfortunately, and we asked her for a copy of our contract. We asked her twice, and so we could verify what we owned. And she left the table twice, both times returning to the table without anything in her hand. And instead, she confirmed that we had a presidential contract, and that's the one that we signed in 2018, which is now void, or which was void. So she basically fraud and the inducement. I mean, she tricked us into thinking we had a presidential when we all the time had a penthouse.
You'd already paid for the upgrade once, and then you paid for it again.
Exactly.
Oh, my gosh.
So I just want your listeners to be aware.
Which company is this?
It's in Cabo San Lucas. It's a small company called Grand Solmar.
Mm-hmm.
They have 4 properties.
Mm-hmm.
3 of them are right next door to each other, and then there's a brand new one out a ways. And I just want everyone to realize what we did do is I had a lawyer help me with a letter. We wrote a letter to the manager, the sales manager, who's still there, and he's American, and he's the one who sold us in 2019. So we emailed him. We FedExed a letter that you have to have a signature for. They don't have certified mail down in Mexico. And within 30 days, if they don't respond favorably, we will, the letter says we will contact the Better Business Bureau of Las Vegas, which that's where their financial handling company is. And we will open a case with the Mexican Federal Consumer Protection Department, which is called Profeco. So I don't know how this is going to end, but because we just FedExed a letter yesterday. But I want your listeners to be aware that, we asked for 3
that you can tell a timeshare salesman is lying if his mouth is moving.
Yes, and we really, she was an expert. She got our trust from the get-go. We shared family stories, pictures of her kids. I mean, it was just, and, so from now on, I mean, we learned. We learned.
Cheaper to stay in a hotel.
Even if we can just recoup even if we give up our deposit and we don't have to pay the rest of the contract, I mean, we'll be happy.
Yeah.
I know that sounds awful, but we'll be happy.
No, it doesn't sound awful. It sounds like you got screwed and they should let you go. I mean, that's what fraud does, even in Mexico. Go figure. Wow. Amazing. What a scummy, scummy business. Wow. This is The Ramsey Show. Hey folks, I got a great option to help you pay for your education. The Army National Guard. The Army National Guard believes you are the next greatest generation because you have proven that even in adversity, that you have what it takes to succeed. That's why they offer benefits like tuition assistance, career training, and a paycheck to help you avoid debt. No matter what your goals are, the Army National Guard can help you get there. Visit nationalguard.com to find out more. Talking timeshares this hour and what a horrible thing they are and what horrible people work in that business. It's absolutely out of control. Diamond International, Westgate, Marriott, Wyndham. Diamond being purchased now for billions by Hilton. So Hilton's going to go ahead and mess up their name by buying the largest timeshare company out there that screws more people than anyone else. See, what happens is people buy these things for $15,000 or $20,000, and they're almost never able to actually use them. Not even on the week that they bought. This comes up time and time and time again. The AARP put out the 10 costliest scams to the elderly. Number 1, romance scams, $83 million. Number 7, timeshare sales, $17 million. Number 10, timeshare resales, $12 million. $30 million a year that the AARP estimates is being stolen from the elderly. Scams is what they called it. Scams. Go figure that. Man, something else. Stasia is with us in Tampa, Florida. Hi, Stasia. Is it Stasia or Stasi? How do you say it?
It's Stacia.
Stacia. I didn't even get close. Sorry about that. How can I help?
Well, thanks for having me on your show, and thanks for having this. I think it's an important segment to help get the facts out there to people before they spend money on these programs. So back in 2001, I received an offer in the mail. This is one that I couldn't refuse, right?
Yeah, right.
I think it was for $450 for 5 days and 4 nights, including a rental car, and it was at a Marriott property on Maui. How could I pass that up?
On Maui?
Woohoo! On Maui. So I knew that a timeshare presentation was included, so my eyes were sort of open. I had friends that had timeshares, and they seemed to enjoy it, but we never really talked about the money part anyway. And I'm strong. I'm not going to buy a stinking timeshare. I'm just going to enjoy and treat my mom to an inexpensive trip to Maui, right?
Right.
So we know I bought, or I wouldn't be on the segment, right?
Yeah. So you went in the tiger cage and you got eaten.
Oh, yeah. So as I was preparing for early retirement, I put it on my list of things to do to get rid of the annual expense. I could spend the money going elsewhere, and getting to Hawaii from Florida was way too much travel. So I kicked the can down the road because I listened to your program. Now, I'm not saying that you advise procrastination. I just heard all the horror stories, and so I procrastinated because I didn't want to deal with it, which is very rare for me. So over the years, I did simple math to see if I was getting the value, but I corrected my simple math when I started sending information to your show, and I learned that my simple math was really me lying to myself, and I didn't want you to catch me in ignoring the truth. So my original payment was for $10,900 for every other year to stay in Maui. And then I upgraded to their point system. I think that was around 2011. I guess I imagine the salesperson's children were going without shoes and food or something. I don't know what I was thinking. But that upgrade was $2,000. So by this time, I'm in it for a sunk cost of $12,900. I paid maintenance every year for an every other year program, and that started at $450 in 2001, and it ended at $1,300 in 2020.
Whoa!
And in that time frame,
this property's falling apart with all that maintenance.
Well, in every other year, occupancy, so I only use it 9 times. So I reached out to Marriott in January 2020, and they paid me $3,000 to take back my $12,900 as current cost. I thought it was a bargain given the horror stories I've heard, and it was a pretty simple process.
Marriott actually gave you $3,000?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
You really came out.
But I didn't.
No, I know you didn't, but I mean, because Marriott, there's some good people that work at the hotels and stuff, but the leadership team at Marriott, man, you could tell they're lying if their mouth's moving too. Oh my God, we've had all kinds of trouble with those people. It's a horrible company at the top. So I'm really shocked. Wow, look at you.
And I got out before the pandemic, so I don't know what that would look like today. I don't know what those fees would raise up to today. But
well, you did good. I mean, really. I mean, I know you feel like you got messed up. You did get messed over, but I mean, that's impressive. If everybody could get $3,000 back from Marriott that had been screwed by Marriott on a timeshare, well, they'd be shut down.
Maybe it was because it was so old. You know, I purchased back in 2001 somewhere.
I don't know. You just caught the right person on a bad day. Wow, I love it. That's good. That's good news. Well, hey, I'll just tell you, if you're out there and you have a Marriott timeshare and you want out of it, I'd call them and try to do what she did. That's pretty incredible. It'd be great if Marriott got hit by $3,000 for everybody they've screwed on a timeshare. That'd be amazing. I don't think they'd be open anymore, but that'd be amazing. Very cool. Hey, man, thanks for sharing your story. If you have a timeshare story, good or bad, maybe you love your timeshare. 3% of people do. 3% of people that have a timeshare just love it. I mean, what kind of an industry stays open with a 97% dissatisfaction ratio? I mean, who can stay? No restaurant in the world. I mean, if you start going, okay, 97% of McDonald's customers think they suck. 3% thinks it's nutritious and awesome, you know? But they can't stay open on that, right? Can you imagine? I mean, 97% of Coca-Cola drinkers hate it. How do you stay open? Oh my gosh, if 97% of Dave Ramsey listeners thought I was horrible, they would quit listening, hypothetically. Oh my gosh. That'd be like, this is amazing. Marriott, here's another Marriott. Here's a note I just got on Marriott. By the way, if you have a timeshare story, call right now, 888-825-5225. Marriott Vacation Club salespeople are super trained used car salespeople. This is a posting online. They tell you how easy it is to book. Trust me, it is all fabrication. I could not book a week in October, 11 months in advance. Costs? How about $20,000 for your week of timeshare, $750 for annual maintenance fees, $104 to trade your week for points, $99 for interval membership, $84 to book your week, and oh yeah, $79 to cancel. After canceling, even due to death and immediate family, you have 60 days to use your week at a resort. Good luck with that. Check the figures. Booking fancy hotels is much cheaper, and you don't have to stay a full week at the same location. And you get the week you want without booking it a full year in advance. Trust me. Stay away from Marriott Vacation Clubs. Trust me. Signed, a true sucker. This is an online post right here. Man, this stuff just goes on and on and on and on and on. Oh, here's another Diamond Resort one. These guys. In 2019, we were visiting a Diamond Resorts location and were offered a discount 4-day trip to Palm Springs if we attended a timeshare presentation while there. The staff pressured us relentlessly into making a purchase. While at the presentation, we were told that these resorts were for the exclusive use of members, that this was a real estate investment, it's not, and that not traveling more with our family made us bad parents. See, that's when you should have punched the guy and left. Finally, we felt that we needed to make a purchase not only to leave, but so that our children could experience the lifestyle that the representative was promising. Oh my God. After that day, we continued to get hounded with calls from Diamond employees asking us when we would be attending a welcome presentation. Every time we tried to book it, nothing was available. Not only can we not book rooms that would accommodate our family, we receive bills for maintenance fees that continue to rise. What are we continuing to pay for? This has become such a burden on us, and Diamond is unwilling to help. Well, of course they're unwilling to help. The tiger eats until the tiger is full, and then he yawns and takes a nap. This is the Ramsey Show. America's largest legalized fraud, timeshares. We spend an hour on it occasionally just to make sure you know that you are getting screwed. If you love your timeshare or you hate your timeshare or you have a great story, we'd love to talk to you. The phone number is 888-825-5225. Larry loves his timeshare. Hey, Larry, how are you?
Doing good, Dave. Thank you.
Cool. So tell me what you like about it, and where is it?
Well, we own one in Branson and one in Eureka Springs, Arkansas. Our first one was the Eureka Springs. I did have a timeshare in Colorado that I bought in a bankruptcy that was used for skiing. We went ahead and let that one go because the yearlies did go up. But the two I have, the yearly fees have not gone up over, 25 years.
So what's the annual on it? What's the annual?
The one is $440 a year. The other is $725.
Mm-hmm. For a week?
We use them for. Go ahead.
So for 1 week?
Yeah, that's for a week.
Okay.
But we use them. We use them to trade. And if you know Johnny Morris, he owns Big Cedar down in Branson. Their sister resort, the Wilderness Club, is right next door. We trade into their Dave, and we enjoy the heck out of it. Mm-hmm. We use the Branson Resort strictly for family reunions that we go to yearly, and we've traded all over the country. But we've as I told the screener, my father did not vacation, and when I got out of seminary school, dirt poor, our very first timeshare down in Eureka Springs, the gentleman was very low pressure. He gave us the tour. He said, "We're not high pressure here. Go have dinner. If this is something you like, come back tomorrow and we'll sign papers." And we liked what we saw. Mm-hmm. And for us, the experience was wonderful.
Now, are those independently owned, or are they owned by one of these other companies that we were talking about?
Well, they're related to RCI, the Resort Exchange Company, but
that's just an association. That's not. Who owns them? The homeowners, as far as Holiday Island down in Eureka Springs and in Branson, the unit owners, I couldn't tell you who owns it per se. All I know is it's been good to us because we've known how to use it. So you bought one of them. Point of sale, you bought it on the property. Did you buy and you bought one out of bankruptcy that you let go out in Colorado? The other one, correct. Did you buy it on the property or did you buy it out of bankruptcy?
We did down in Branson. We bought that one on property. Okay. And I'll be honest, we wish we'd gone out to the Wilderness Club first because the Wilderness Club is absolutely beautiful. Right on Table Rock Lake, and if folks are listening, they know what I'm talking about. But again, I understand the timeshare scam. I've had quite a few clients that we've talked about it, but I've sold my weeks to clients. They've gone down there and enjoyed the heck out of them. I've used them for auctions in churches, and the parishioners have used them. And so I've had a variety of reasons for using mine. I definitely understand the scams.
What did you pay for them up front?
The Eureka Springs, we paid $4,500. The bankruptcies were $1,700. Now Branson at Grand Crown was $12,000.
Okay.
And so, but I had specific reasons. We weren't, we knew what we were getting into when we bought them, and we go to a nice place every year for our reunion. We trade into the Wilderness Club every January and take a week off before we start our practices for the year. It's a R&R for us, and we get the shelter for the family. And you don't want to leave that resort. I mean, look up Big Cedar, and you'll understand. Johnny Morris doesn't do anything wrong.
I understand. Got you. Cool. Well, I'm glad you're liking it. Good. I appreciate you reporting in. That's fair. That's a fair part of the story as well. We appreciate you. Thanks, Larry. Appreciate you sharing that. Open phones at 888-825-5225 if you have a timeshare story. According to a survey done by the University of Central Florida, 87% of people hate their timeshares. According to a study done by the timeshare industry, 87% of people love their timeshares. I wonder who's telling the truth. And we saw a survey the other day, a different one. That was 97% that I referenced earlier. We're actually doing some research right now in the timeshare industry at Ramsey Research, our research arm, and I can't wait to get to report that to you guys. It's going to be amazing. Our guys they know how to do the actual research. It'll be straight. Now, it won't just be, let's confirm Dave's opinion. No, they actually get real solid statistical evidence of exactly what is going on in the marketplace. We do it for all kinds of things and around the money space. And where we see the consumer getting screwed wholesale like this, then we want to step in and find out what's really happening. Because, see, people like Hilton are buying Diamond, and these executives that have made all this money all these years are getting a real payday when Hilton comes in and buys that company out. So this is ding ding for them. They are ringing the bell at the bar like they do when they get a tip. Yeah. And it's got a lot of zeros on it. It's amazing how much money those guys have made off of you. Andrew's in Indianapolis. Hi, Andrew. Welcome to the Ramsey Show. Tell me your story.
Hi, Dave. How are you?
Great. How can we help?
A couple of years ago, probably 2014, I'm sorry. My wife and I went to Tennessee on a timeshare that my sister-in-law and brother-in-law gave us for our anniversary, along with our two very little kids. And
so you were using their week?
Yes, sir. We were using their week.
What, in the Gatlinburg or Pigeon Forge area? Where in Tennessee?
Gatlinburg, to be specific.
Yeah, it's got timeshare crawling all over it like termites. Okay.
Yes, it does. And so we had, my daughter was 3 at the time. My son was probably maybe 1.5, 2 at the oldest. And they told us, it'll be just a 45-minute meeting or so. And I kind of rolled my eyes then, like, I've heard this before, but okay, we'll bite the bullet. We already told you no, but okay, we'll just, they trick you with that little gift or so. And
what was the gift to get you? What was the gift to get you into the meeting?
You know what? It must have not been that big of a deal because I don't remember it actually.
Okay.
I just remember.
So it wasn't 30 minutes. How long were you in there?
We were there for 5.5 hours.
Good God.
2 very little children. Yes. And at the one point or so, the salesperson, he was very nice. And as soon as we started saying no and he started realizing we weren't interested, it flipped on a dime, and he became the most hateful person to us. He even called over his manager, and the manager got really angry with us or so. At the time, my 3-year-old, she was getting very fussy, and he kind of gave her a very dirty look. And I'm normally a very quiet, reserved person or so. My wife said that it looked like I kind of blacked out, and I got up. I said, "Don't you ever talk to my child like that ever again." Looked at my wife, said, "Grab the kids. We are leaving." I said, "If you bar me from this thing, I will not hesitate to call the local authorities."
Wow. So you walked out.
It was a very... I'm sorry, what?
So after 5.5 hours, you walked out after they were rude to you and finally called down your kid.
Yes. Yep.
Wow. You remember the company name?
No. The place we were staying at, it was Blue Green. It was a
That's
sister
the company name.
of them.
Yeah, Blue Green's number 4. They're the number 4 largest one, and they get more complaints. Oh my God, what a horrible company! Wow.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Well, there it is, folks. This is the timeshare industry. If you look up scum in the dictionary, you'll see their picture. This is the Ramsey Show. Have a friend or family member that needs a daily dose of Ramsey advice in their life? Let them know about the Ramsey Call of the Day podcast. It's a quick hit of advice about life and money in under 10 minutes. Check out the Ramsey Call of the Day podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. Ken Coleman, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author of The Proximity Principle, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. Sarah is going to start us off this hour in Saratoga Springs, New York. Hi, Sarah. How are you?
Hi, Dave. Hi, Ken. How are you?
Great. How can we help?
Great. My husband and I are on baby step 3B, and we just closed on a house, and we were wondering how soon after we move into the house should we restart the retirement again?
Well, what do you think?
I think about 3 to 4 months so we can get used to the new budget in the house, but my husband feels anxious that we haven't been putting it into retirement, and he wants to start it as soon as possible.
Yeah. Why would you wait?
Just because the house payment and the house expenses are a little bit different than what it is in our apartment, so I just wanted to get a better handle on what it's actually going to be per month.
Well, you ought to know. They gave you the payment amount at the closing.
True.
What is it you're going to discover?
I guess of like repairs and stuff like that.
You just bought the house. Does it need repairs?
Just like a new furnace. It's like a 25-year-old furnace, so they suggested replacing it soon, so we were going to do that within the first couple months.
Okay. Get some bids on a furnace.
Okay.
So here's the thing, okay? You should not have all of these unknowns. And then once you don't have the unknowns, then that tells you when you can start the retirement or should start the retirement. But I'm with your husband. I've got an urgency to get going on it, but I don't want to start your retirement and then finance a furnace. So, you know, yeah, I know, but the balance is we got to figure out how we're going to pay for this furnace, right? And so go ahead and get, you know, we know what the house payment is, and shouldn't be hard to pull up the electric bill. You can get copies of that from the former owner or even ask the utility company. They'll give you the history on that. So you got to be able to lay your budget out within a few dollars. And then you get 3 bids on a furnace and you go, okay, we're going to spend X number of dollars on a furnace. And so that's going to mean we start retirement back after the furnace is saved, and that's going to be here. You got to be able to lay all of this out. But the idea we're going to kick the can down the road for vague unknowns that you should search out the answer to is not a good plan.
Okay.
Does that make sense to you?
total sense.
Yeah, so go ahead and just dial it in, and if you get dialed in, you're okay, Ken.
Yeah, and one other thing I'd say there is who's they, and let's get 2 or 3 theys to look at that furnace and say, do we need to replace it now, or do we think it's got 6 months to a year life? Go ahead and save up for it. Get the quote of what it's going to cost, get 3 or 4 quotes, and save it up. But I've been scared before, Dave. I remember when I was a new homeowner, and you need to do this, you need to do that. Well, you need to do this. Well, do we really?
Yeah.
That's all. You're still going to save up for it, prepare for it.
Stinking thing my last 5 years. It could be the efficiency on it, too, would be worth going ahead and doing it now.
Right.
But you also want to catch it on seasonality.
That's true, too.
Meaning you don't want to do a replacement when there's a line of people out the door doing replacements because the season changed, right?
That's correct.
You want to do it in the off season where they catch them when they're not working and they give you a good deal.
Yeah.
And so the timing on it would be a good idea, too. But you're right. You can go ahead and save up and be ready for executing on a certain timing, or just be ready when the thing lays down to fix it at that point. Anthony's with us. Anthony is in Tampa, Florida. Hi, Anthony. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave. Such an honor to chat with you. How you doing?
You too. How can we help?
Just wondering on which baby step can we start updating kitchen, updating pool, that kind of thing.
Well, we teach folks to not do anything until they're through baby step 3, out of debt, and have your emergency fund in place, because updating the kitchen is not an emergency. So you need your emergency fund in place and be out of debt first. Now, then at the point that you're at baby steps 4, 5, and 6, you move from intense, meaning not doing anything except those things, to intentional. And intentional means that there's some other stuff in our life we're going to do while we're doing retirement, kids' college, and paying extra on the house. But we're also going on vacation, buy a new couch, update the kitchen, do the pool, whatever. Those things get woven into the budget at that point, of course, paying cash for them. But there's a different rhythm there, Ken, in those 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, I like the distinction between intense and then intentional. Okay, look, we just talked about this, a previous caller. We've got some real expenses. What would we consider higher priority? What's lower priority? What's just, we'd really like to do it, but it's really not going to affect our life, negative or positive, one way or the other. And I think that's the intentionality that you're speaking to. And I got to tell you, that's really helped us from time to time go, well, I want this, but we don't need this. Good distinction.
The Ken Coleman Show is broadcast on 75-plus radio stations, Sirius XM, and as a podcast. Every day he is helping folks with their careers, with their jobs, with their promotions, with finding their dream, with finding work that matters, and plugging in. Every day he does that. Recruiters spend an average of 7.4 seconds on an initial resume screening. Gosh, that's probably double what I spend. And it's never been more difficult for your resume to stand out among the sea of participants. And that's why Ken created 6 easy-to-use resume templates to get you noticed. They're a whole $9.99, 6 of them. And these are instructions for building your resume, the 10 do's and don'ts of job applications. Text resume to 33789. You can get dialed in on that resume to 33789. And, of course, you can follow Ken Coleman Show on Facebook, Ken Coleman on Instagram, the Ken Coleman Show on YouTube. He's everywhere helping people with their careers, including here today to help you. If you want to talk careers, jump in at 888-825-5225. 888-825-5225. Kelsey says, in my office there's a job opening that would be considered a promotion. What can I do to show my boss I'm qualified?
Yeah, I love this. I sit down with them after we've looked at the actual job description and make sure you are qualified. You just don't want to be qualified. In this particular question, it's all right. We want to sit down if you've got the qualifications and go, hey, I'm really interested in this opportunity. Here's why. Don't just lead with qualifications. Lead with enthusiasm. See, this is what a leader wants to know. They want to know not just that you're qualified, but you're raising your hand, not just for a promotion for you, but because you are really, really deeply excited about this opportunity to grow yourself by adding more value to the company. They're going to go for enthusiasm, some passion, more than just qualification. And lay it out there. I'm really interested. I want the shot. What can I do to get the shot?
Put me in, coach.
That's it. But hunger, right? Not with an attitude of, hey, give me the thing. I'm the guy that you're supposed to put in the game. No, I want the shot, coach. Put me in,
coach. I'll prove it.
That's it.
I'll prove it.
Hunger. Humility.
I got this. I got it. This is the Ramsey Show. What makes our show unique is that we genuinely care about our listeners. We're intentional about choosing the best advertisers to recommend. Blinds.com is no exception. They offer high-quality window treatments at unbelievable prices, and they make it simple to shop blinds, shades, and interior shutters with easy online ordering, free shipping, and a guaranteed perfect fit. Go to Blinds.com and take advantage of this week's special savings. Ken Coleman Ramsey, personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. You jump in. We'll talk about your life and your money. On the stage, the debt-free stage, in the lobby of Ramsey Solutions, is Benjamin and Josefa. Hi, guys. How are you?
Thank God we're good. How are you?
Better than I deserve, my friend. Where do you live?
We're from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Oh, cool. Welcome to Nashville. And all the way here to do a debt-free scream. How much have you paid off?
$73,046.
Very good. And how long did this take you?
28 months.
All right. And your range of income during that time?
$136,000 to $143,000.
Very good. What do you do for a living?
I work in sales.
Mm-hmm. What do you sell?
So we help pharmaceutical companies with a quality system.
Okay, cool.
I'm a stay-at-home mom.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. What kind of debt was your $73,000?
Student loans.
Yay!
Oh,
Got
yeah.
rid of Sally Mae.
Oh, yeah. I was so happy to say goodbye to that.
Toss her out in the street where she belongs. I love it. So how long you guys been married?
Almost 6 years.
Okay. So 2 years ago and some change, something changed. What happened?
Well, we have been on a financial journey since the beginning of our marriage. And actually, it's funny because right before I got married to Benjamin, my friend was telling me about this snowball thing. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess that is bad. So we were actually living in Brooklyn, New York, and we moved to Philadelphia with the intention of buying a home. So we decided for 1 year we'll rent, and then we started our home search a year later, and none of the homes looked really great. And then one day Benjamin comes home, and I'll let him finish the story.
So I came home because I had a long conversation with a couple of friends of mine and realized that we're about to undertake getting a house, and we still have over $70,000 worth in debt left. And that doesn't really make sense if you have to replace a roof that's going to cost you $10,000, and we're never going to set up a financially successful life for our families. So we had a pretty difficult conversation for the next couple of days. We bought most of your books, started religiously listening to the podcast, and then decided, okay, we're going to do this. And we set out a trek from there to knock out the rest of the debt.
How'd you run into our stuff?
I have a couple of friends in Philadelphia that are strong adherents. And so it was a lengthy conversation. You know, it was hard to not be on the house buying train like everybody else.
Yeah.
And say, you know, we were in the same boat as everybody else, and it kind of came to the realization that this doesn't make sense right now.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Well, congratulations, you guys. I'm proud of you. Very well done. Who were your biggest cheerleaders cheering you on along the way?
Our family, they were definitely supportive, and it was really good to have friends kind of in the same boat as us, like living the Dave Ramsey lifestyle and having that.
Yeah, fun. So you got a bunch of people doing it.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Very cool.
So I gotta ask, you buy the books, you start listening daily to the show, and so you're really starting to soak all this in. What were some of the first big steps, maybe a big momentum starter for you to get started on that snowball and really get some traction? What'd you guys do?
But we had to make the first difficult choice to take all the money that we had put to the house and throw it into that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hard.
And so that was hard. I mean, honestly, a process of becoming comfortable with your lot. We had to decide for the next 3 years or however long it's going to take, we're going to live in an apartment instead of where everybody else is going to buy houses. Yeah. We're going to be comfortable and make do with what we have and be happy with it. And so, I mean, the first biggest step was just the mental state of being willing to do that and kind of getting on the same page. I mean, once you're on the same page, it's a lot easier.
Yeah.
And so that was really the first part of the process.
Yeah, I have to admit, it took me a little bit to get onto that page, but once I did, I was definitely happy.
Well, you were on the house train on down the track.
Oh, yeah, it was really disappointing to say no to
that's
to
hard
the
to do.
Yeah, but the budget part was really important. But as you can tell from when Benjamin mentioned his range of income, not much changed. It was more of a mindset that had to change. You know, we were dealing with a similar budget. We just had to differentiate between the things that we needed and the things that we wanted to have and we'd like to have and the impulse buys that we wanted to do. So that was definitely a difficult mindset change.
Yeah, that's a big deal. So how's it feel now that you're free?
It's actually, I've listened to the show a lot of times, and the typical answers are, and it's true for us too, it's liberating, it's freeing, it's like a weight off your shoulders. A friend of mine made an interesting comment to me who started the Ramsey journey for himself, which is that and we felt the same way. I thought that freedom really is the ability to buy what I want, but it's not really, because the freedom is actually the ability to make unencumbered choices. Ooh. And freedom really lives kind of in that mindset where you have a structure, you have the baby steps, you have a plan, and you find freedom within that. When you don't have the plan, when you don't have the structure, you actually end up buying a bunch of stuff you don't need. You end up spending more than you actually make. And so it's actually the true freedom is within that structure. And once you get to the end of it, then you really have the ability to make unencumbered choices.
Okay.
So that's, true freedom.
Amen. That's good.
Yeah. I mean, that's like
I'm
a
going
big
to
word.
teach the next segment.
You should. Unencumbered. That's a great visual, too, to that word. It's a 50-cent word, but the reality is it's there's no strings. There's nothing holding you back.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful illustration.
Powerful. Now, you brought friends with you. Who are the friends just off camera over here?
Well, we got our family.
Oh, it's your family.
We got 3 kids, and also my father and my brother and his family also came as well.
Very good. Quite a family affair then. You brought the cheering gallery. Very good. Well, we've got a copy of The Legacy Journey for you and a copy of The Total Money Makeover. You can pass those along, enjoy them yourself, and here they come. I love it. What are the babies' names and ages?
So this is Menachem Mendel. He's 8 months. This is Hendel Gittel. She's 2.5. And this is Eliezer Leib. He's 5.
Fabulous. They look fun.
Oh, they are.
Very cool. Very cool. I love it. Well, congratulations, you guys.
Thank you.
Very, very well done. All right, Benjamin and Josefa, $73,000 paid off in 28 months, making $136,000 to $143,000. They are now unencumbered.
They are
debt-free. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
Thank God we're debt-free!
Yeah! I love it. That's fun. Look at those babies. They're cute. Very well done. That's a great family and a great story. Completely free. There's a lot said in that interview with them, this idea that I can just... it was a decision. And once we made the decision, all the drama goes away. Yep. Isn't it funny? Where all the drama and angst comes from is not staying with the decision.
Yes.
Proverbs says a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. And we add drama to our lives when we don't stick with, okay, we're going to do this, we're going to stick with it. then all the other stuff's off the table, and it just, all of the emotion and the psychology and the drama and stuff starts to melt away, doesn't it?
It really does. In fact, the rest of that scripture talks about the analogy of driven like the waves and the wind of the sea, just this back and forth, and committing to the decision and then managing the decision. Once the decision is made, we manage our behavior based on the decision. I'll tell you one other thing that I heard, Dave, that I thought was really cool. For those of you that listen to the show and you're debt-free and you're still part of this amazing community of people, it was a friend who was on their own debt-free journey that said, whoa, slow down on that house purchase, slow down. And a friend said, hey, maybe consider this. And because of that friend and group of friends, they discovered financial peace. Don't forget that as you're going through a journey and you're getting freedom and hope, to share that with others. You may be the lifeline that they needed.
That'll move things along for sure. Very good stuff. Well done. They're heroes. They're awesome. Love it, love it, love it. This is The Ramsey Show. Ken Coleman, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Christy Wright, our co-host in crime, another Ramsey Personality, has launched the pre-sale of her brand new book, Take Back Your Time, The Guilt-Free Guide to Life Balance. For years, Christy was stretched way too thin. She, as a mom of three with a full-time career, she realized something had to change. And she took a long, hard look at her life, and she figured out why she felt overwhelmed and why she felt overcommitted all the time. And she figured out that balance is about doing the right things at the right time. The new book is Take Back Your Time, The Guilt-Free Guide to Life Balance. If you pre-order right now while it's on sale, it comes out in September, you get $50 worth of free bonus items. It includes the audiobook read by Christy, the ebook, access to the Take Back Your Time live stream, and a lot more. So all you do is go to RamseySolutions.com, pre-order your copy of Christy's new book, Take Back Your Time, and get it done today. Ken, we've got a big announcement coming up next week on your new stuff.
Oh, exciting.
Can't tell about it. But
I can't, yeah, I know.
It's
like
a big secret.
Big secret.
Not really.
I need to stop her. Dave's got this little button he pushes. Shock me right here. It'd be great television.
Now, they've got a button in there. It's the eject button, and I go out through the roof when I launch something sooner than it's supposed to launch. Right. I get launched. So.
Look how much enjoyment James and Kelly's faces of the idea of that.
Just licking their chops. Their proverbial chops are being licked.
Yes, indeed.
Jared is in Irvine, California. Hi, Jared. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, Mr. Ramsey. How's it going?
Better than I deserve, sir. What's up in your world?
Hey, so I was just calling with a question for you. I'm looking to get some guidance as to whether or not I should sell my house and move up, or if I should stay where I'm at with a smaller space. I'll give you a little background real quick. We're in a 2-bedroom condo right now, and we have 2 small children, so the boys are sharing a room, and we're going to be trying for a third here real soon, so that's why I'm having the debate of, do I sell in this awesome seller's market and try to move up and maybe stretch our budget a little thin, or do I just suck it up and try to cram 3 kids in a 2-bedroom condo?
Yeah. Are you out of debt, except the condo?
Yes, we're in baby steps 4, 5, and 6.
Good. Okay. When you make the move up, are you going to do it on a 15-year fixed where the payment's no more than a fourth of your take-home pay?
Yes, that's the plan.
Okay. If you can do that, I don't have anything against it.
My question, too. Just trying to figure out how much exactly I can afford without, stretching too far?
25% of your take-home pay is a payment on a 15-year fixed rate. And if you do that, you're not going to be stretched too thin. You're going to be okay. The problem gets in is because, let me tell you, the mortgage company will approve you for almost twice that much. Almost twice that much. To where as much, in other words, they'll move you over to a 30 from a 15, and then they'll jam that ratio all the way as high as they can jam it up in the high 30s, up close to 40% of your take-home pay, and then you're on a 30-year mortgage, and now you're owned by them, which is the goal. Instead, our goal is to get you into that mortgage and get you into that house, then get you back out of that mortgage. And that's why we do a 15-year fix. Let's get it paid off in 10 then, and have a game plan to get at it. But it does sound like you need to move, dude. I mean, you got kids coming out everywhere. It's just like you got a whole stack of them there, man.
Yeah. The two boys in the room, you can manage that.
For a period of time.
The third one changes that whole equation.
Yeah, and it's obviously getting tight in there. But yeah, you just can't use the old "I'm in California" excuse, because the math still works in California. In spite of what some of the politicians say, math still works in California. So it's still what has to happen there. Hey, open phones at 888-825-5225. Tiffany's next in Austin, Texas. Hi, Tiffany. How are you?
Hi, Mr. Ramsey. I'm a new listener, and a colleague has suggested that I call in today.
Okay.
So recently I've been really focusing on paying off my debt with my husband, and this morning I was served papers from a student loan that I thought was no longer my responsibility. It was a private student loan that I had gotten out years ago with my deceased grandfather. At the time, we couldn't afford to pay it back when my grandfather passed away, newly married. And then I started disputing it on my credit report on both TransUnion and Equifax. And each time I disputed it, it came back that it was not my debt. And it has since come off all of my credit reporting over the last 3 to 4 years. I did notice whenever I got served this morning, I went and checked, and it was on my Equifax report. But I'm just not sure what to do with this, being that I've never been sued or anything like that in the past.
It kind of scares you, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm a little bit emotional today, so
yeah.
I told my husband, I was like, I'm going to call. I don't want to cry. My mom just passed away a few months ago, so I'm like, I'm going to cry.
That's okay. I'm sorry. So how much is the debt?
So the random thing is there's actually two of them, but they are only sending it for one. It's $12,930.80.
Okay. Well, here's the equation. If you signed a contract saying that you owe the debt when you took it out with your grandfather, then you are liable. Whether it's on your credit bureau report or not does not affect your legal liability. You can have something that is never on your credit bureau report, and you're legally liable because you signed a contract saying you would pay it. If, however, your grandfather signed it, and you're listed as the person who got the money for college, but you did not sign the agreement, then you are not liable, and you will need an attorney. So we don't know, based on what you've told me. Do you have any documents from any of this?
Yeah, I'm looking at it. It does have me as signature of borrower, and then it has my grandfather's signature of co-signer.
Okay, so you're looking at the actual loan agreement, not the lawsuit.
I'm looking at the lawsuit. They have several exhibits.
And one of the exhibits is the original loan document.
Correct.
And it has you as the borrower.
What I'm looking at.
It has you as the borrower.
Correct.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry, you're liable. You signed as a borrower.
So
how old were you when you signed that?
06. I can't even do that math right now. 23.
Okay. You were over 18, so you're liable. Okay. I'm not an attorney, but that's the correct answer. All right. When you sign a loan document as the borrower, that means you're liable to pay it. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
So here's what we're going to do. They say $12,000. Y'all have any money?
We can.
No. How much money do you have? Do you have any money?
saved right now. I think our savings account maybe has $1,500 in it.
Okay. What can you scrape together beyond that?
My next big check will be in November, and so I'll have an additional $10,000.
Okay. So you have a debt of $12,000. That's what they're suing you for, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So and this is how many years ago?
From 2006.
2006.
15 years.
Okay. So, yeah, I would call them and say, I don't have any money. I'm broke. I just got served. I didn't even realize I was liable until I read this exhibit. I do have $1,500. If you will accept that as settlement in full, we can settle this today. They probably won't take that. But you probably can get it for about 25 cents on the dollar, not 10 cents on the dollar. So if you can scrape together another $1,500, you probably can settle this for about $3,000. If you can get them to agree to that on the phone, you get that in writing. You do not give them electronic access to your checking account, and then you wire them the money directly, or you send them a money order or a prepaid debit card or something that does not interfere with your regular monies. But scrape together a couple of $1,000 here, $2,000 to $3,000. I think you can talk them into taking that as a settlement in full. Get it in writing before you send it to them, and do not let them into your personal checking account as a part of the deal. Of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage. Troy and Holly are with us. Hey guys, how are you?
Awesome.
Hi. Welcome. Where do you guys live?
We're from Goshen, Indiana.
Goshen, South Bend area.
Yes. Yep.
All right. I think I see a Notre Dame thing on your shirt.
Yeah. I didn't know if I need to hide that or not.
There it is. No, it's we allow almost anybody in here. All right. Welcome. So you're here to do a debt-free scream. How much have you paid off?
We paid off $65,000 in 30 months.
Very good. And your range of income during that time?
Actually went from $52,000 to $48,000.
Oh, down. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a story here, huh?
Yeah, there's a little bit of story. I'm a high school math teacher, and I was a varsity boys basketball coach for 8 years, and actually decided to step down during our debt-free journey. Just felt, as you'll see in a little bit, our kids and our family was growing. We have 5 kids, and just felt like it was time to take a step back. And it was cool to see God work out the details of when we actually took less income and had some other things pop up during that time.
Very cool. Good for you. What kind of debt was the $65,000?
It was all our house.
Oh, you paid off your house. We're looking at weird people.
Yes, you are.
How old are you guys?
I'm 37 and my wife is 36.
Wow,
that's
the
awesome
paid-for
stuff.
house, man. You're so weird. What's this house worth?
I would say in the market we're in, I say 180 to 200, somewhere in there.
I'll go with that. Very good. Man, that's whack. You're not even 40 and you have a paid-for house. Tell us about this journey. What happened 2.5 years ago made you guys lean into this?
Well, it really starts 16 years ago. So 16 years ago, next month will be our anniversary, our 16-year anniversary. And this is a God story. We're on our honeymoon 16 years ago, driving to Tennessee and driving down to Florida later on. And back in those days, we didn't use our phone to listen to podcasts and everything. We were using the old seek and scan button on the radio.
Yeah, I used this thing called a radio in your car.
Yeah, it's amazing, right? And we're just looking for some good music to listen to and whatever. And this guy comes on the radio. It's a talk show. He's talking about plastectomies. He's talking about baby steps. He's talking about debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid off home mortgage is taking the place of the BMW as a status symbol of choice. And it caught me right away.
Wow.
And I had never heard of you before that. And I'm like, I'm getting this. So when we got back home off our honeymoon, we did the old Google search and found out that you were on in our area. Just never knew it. And so started listening to the show. And for 16 years, we've just been slowly making good decisions. And it ends in this.
Very cool. Very cool. So you whittled away and walked all the way through the baby steps.
Yeah, essentially when we had bought a used car right before we got married. I put it onto payments because we didn't know any better, right? And right away I hear you talking about that's not okay. And so once I graduated college and we were able to have my teacher income and so on, we started attacking the car and then my student loans. And at that point we've been debt free from that probably 12 plus years. And then I knew at some point we wanted to get the house. That was the big one. And so 30 months ago is where the story comes in. 30 months ago was my birthday. I would have been turning 35 and we had $65,000 left on the mortgage and I looked there and said, I want this done by the time I'm 40. And we literally took out some old construction paper, made a house that we colored in every month. The kids got involved in that and that we put it on our bathroom door and every month I just looked forward to getting that thing and that became our motivation. And I said I want to do it before I'm 40 and I'm turning 38 next month. So it was just amazing to see God work out the details on that journey.
Did you step away from coaching?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a sacrifice. I know a lot of coaches, a lot of coaches that they couldn't conceive of not being a coach, and I can see that you love coaching. To step aside like that, to spend more time with the family, and that's a big sacrifice. Talk about how that paid off and where that goes from there.
Yeah, I think what I've learned is in life, I love coaching, and when I put it in God's hands and follow, even if it doesn't feel right or seem right, you believe in his hands, things work out. And, like this summer I was able to coach my son's Little League. Next year I'll coach a 7th grade basketball team instead of the varsity basketball team that my son is on.
There you go.
And being able to still do what I love, but in a different avenue with less pressure, less time, and still being around my family.
So follow up to that. So I'm reading into what you said. So you stepped back from coaching. That's where the pay went down?
Correct.
But then you said God brought some other pay in, other income to share
that would just be my teaching salary that I mentioned. But I work at a golf course in the summers and pick up odds and ends. And again, here's another God thing. So the year that I quit high school coaching, had no intent of going to the college game. And Labor Day, I quit in April. And Labor Day weekend, I get a call from a college coach saying, I need an assistant. I'm desperate. Will you help me out? And wasn't planning on that, but I did do college coaching for a year and ended up financially being blessed more than what the high school position was. So just to see,
that's cool.
A lot of people don't know that part of the story.
Wow, pretty cool. Well done. How's it feel, Holly, to not have a payment?
It feels amazing. Freeing.
What's the first big thing you guys are going to do now that you don't have a house payment?
I think we want to save up for a family cruise, maybe.
That's a good plan.
Yep.
I like that one.
And just that for me, like we've said no so many times, on this, just to the little things. Just I look forward to the yeses that I can give my kids now.
That's powerful. Yeah, no means yes later. That's what it means. If you live like no one else, later you can live and give like no one else. I love it.
Yep.
Very cool. What do you tell people the key to getting out of debt is? You've been on a long journey here.
I would say just persistence, and it seems like you'll never get there, but you do, and one day you're just like, wow, that just happened.
That little construction house up there on the door is done.
Yes, it is. And I want to take a special shout out to my wife because we haven't talked about what she does. She has the harder job. She stays home, right? And she does some homeschooling with our kids, and we have foster care and adoption in our story as well. Yeah. And she's the real hero. I'm able to do what I want with teaching and coaching and doing those things, but when she stays home and takes care of the family and is able, and financially we have been on the same page all of our marriage. I don't think we've ever had a money fight. And just to have a wife that is on the same page, and the day that the amount that we owed on the house minus our emergency fund, that day that we had the money to do it, like lump sum, let's finish this baby off. I get home from school, I'm like, babe, it's there. We can take it out and the emergency fund is still there. And I'm just kind of waiting for that day and seeing what she would say. And instantly she was like, well, get to the bank right now. Let's go. And so just to have a teammate that has been like that has just been awesome. Yeah. She's a real hero.
Well done, you guys. Well done. Very proud of y'all. Yeah. Who are your biggest cheerleaders outside the two of you?
Yeah, I was going to say it's mostly been ourselves, but we definitely have people that are supportive, and they're definitely happy when we talk about it. So we've been blessed.
That's good. Yeah. Very cool. Well, we got a copy of The Legacy Journey for you. That's what you've done. You've changed this whole family tree financially. Well done. And also a copy of the Total Money Makeover for you to give away and start someone on their journey that, like that crazy guy on the radio all those years ago as you were driving through Tennessee. Go figure.
Yep.
Very, very cool. Good for you guys. So you brought the kiddos with you. Let's put them into the shot and give me their names and ages.
So Kylie is almost 14. Drew is 12. Jeremiah is 11. Braden is 8. And Cameron he's almost 5, but he's 4.
All right. Very cool. So good to have you guys. A good-looking family. Yes. Well done, well done, well done. All right. It's Troy and Holly and the tribe from South Bend, Indiana area. $65,000 paid off in 30 months. That's the house and everything. Making 52 down to 48. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
All right, you guys ready? To God be all the glory, honor, and praise. 3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free!
High fives all around, Dave.
That's awesome.
That's how we do it.
I love it. That's how Coach does it at his house. I love it. Very, very cool stuff. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Good-looking family.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so fun. There's something about having the whole family celebrate.
Yeah. You can see a lot of teamwork between that husband and wife, certainly with the kids getting it. That's a special moment. That wasn't just a performance there. They're genuinely happy the way they're giving themselves away through foster care, adoption, and just they've set a course, Dave, that, as you know, it's going to be hard to keep that family's legacy down.
It's on $50,000 a year.
Yeah,
they don't have a house payment.
No, sir.
They don't have a house payment.
Yeah.
This is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, they really have pulled off something here. That's pretty.
On a teacher salary, folks.
Yeah, there it is again. Those teachers, they pop up everywhere. I love it. I love it. Very well done. That puts this hour of The Ramsey Show in the books. Good hour, Ken. Good hour, James Childs, our producer. Kelly Daniel, our associate producer and phone screener. I am Dave Ramsey, your host, and we'll be back.
It's Kelly, associate producer for The Ramsey Show. This episode is over, but if you heard about an event, product, or service and didn't have a chance to write it down, don't worry. We list everything you've heard about during this episode in the podcast show notes section or head to theramseyshow.com. Thanks for listening.
This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. Ken Coleman, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. Marie starts off this hour in Washington, D.C. Hi, Marie. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. How are you doing?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
My husband and I don't know when we should buy a house. We're on baby steps 4 and 5. We're renting right now, but my husband's company is relocating us next June, and we don't know when to buy. Our 3 thoughts were start looking in the fall before we move, maybe buy, so we have plenty of time and we're not pressured, and then we have a place to land once we move. The second is either moving with our in-laws for a couple of months next June and then buy. And then the third option is maybe move in June, rent for 6 months, and then in that 6-month period, buy a house. But we don't know what we should do. My husband doesn't really want to rent anymore because he just wants to start building equity.
Why do you have to start looking in the fall to buy a house by June? That sounds fairly inefficient to me.
Well, I think he just wants to see what's available because the market's so hot, and if there's something that we like, we would just rather buy it and then have our in-laws who live there sort of watch it and go, or if we have construction or
so
things
you're
going
just going to piss away 6 months worth of house payments.
No, we'd pay the.
I know. You're just burning it. You just put $100 bills in the middle of the kitchen table and set them on fire.
Okay.
For what? Why can't you? I mean, let me tell you what a normal procedure would be. If I'm going to move in June, I make a trip over in February and start looking.
Okay.
And close something like May.
Okay.
And then I move in it in June.
Okay. Because he's thinking of like going on a house hunting trip and like seeing a few places in October.
I know. Why? If you want to go over there just for the fun of it, that's fine. But you don't need to buy a house in October that you're not moving into until June. It doesn't make any sense at all.
Oh, well, we wouldn't necessarily buy right in October, like just to look, and maybe something comes up in January.
Buy in May.
Okay, buy in May.
Start looking and buy in May and move in June. That way you're not paying a house payment for a house that's just sitting there because you got the itch.
Okay.
And you're paying rent, by the way, back where you are, right?
I know. I guess this was also my husband thinking that like a lot is happening all at once. So if we can have a place to land, then it's not.
Okay, you do whatever you want to do, but that's weird. All right.
Yeah, and I would just say option 3 is a viable option. I get that your hubs doesn't want to rent, but, there's a lot of things I don't want to do that I still do because they're the best thing to do. And if you're stressed out about it, go rent and get your bearings. When Stacey and I moved back here 7 years ago, we rented for a year because we had kids. We wanted to make sure that it was the best school situation, the best neighborhood. So we took our time, and we had a place to land because we were renting. And then we're able to take our time and walk really wisely through the process. In your position, I don't know why you wouldn't consider renting other than he doesn't want to.
Yeah.
But either way, Dave's answer is just as good.
It's okay. I mean, you can rent for 6 months and buy during that time, or you can just move in May.
Yeah, right.
That's when you're moving anyway, is May. So buy a house and move in May. And, and then dial back out of that. That means I might start looking in March or April and with a possession of sometime in May upon the closing, that kind of a thing. That's a fairly normal process.
Yeah, but there's fear all over that to where you said the same thing 3 different ways. And there's fear that's covering that up. Not picking on her, but it's fear. And part of it's going, well, the market, we got to move now. I got news for you. Based on what I'm reading.
You'll be better off to buy them.
The market is, I'm not saying it's peaking, but it's not going to keep going up the way it has been.
No,
I think it'll be
everything
really
is calming down.
It really is.
It was a COVID blip, and it's calming down. It's not. It is going to continue. Real estate goes up in value. It's a good investment.
That's right.
But the idea that it's going to double between now and May is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's not going to. Denver's an expensive market anyway.
Yeah.
But it's not going to double. You're going to be okay, Marie. Buy a house when you need the house, not 6 months before. That's unwise. That was a gentler way of saying it. Gabriel is in Canada. Hi, Gabriel. How are you?
Hey, guys. You're awesome.
Cool. How can we help?
I have a question. So I'm looking to get married next year to my girlfriend, but her dad's very considerate with making sure that I could support her.
Good.
Financially.
Good. Can you?
I think, well, she lives in Switzerland, so I kind of need to find a job there first. But the plan was to save up $25,000, and then with that money, we could get married, move in, rent a place. So I was just wondering what you guys think about that plan.
Why do you need $25,000 to go to Switzerland?
No, for the wedding. Flights, honeymoon. Yeah.
Okay. Are you working? You got it. You got the money to do that?
As of now, I have around 11,000, but yeah, I'm working.
Okay, so you're well on your way. Then I think all you're going to need is a job that makes as much as you make now in the area of Switzerland. Right?
Okay. And do you think $25,000 is enough for all those things?
for a wedding and what else?
Wedding, rent, like first month's rent. We want 2 months' expenses. We basically want to go into a debt-free.
Yeah,
we hate that.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be great to have your emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses if you have those dialed in and you know what they're going to be. That'd be wonderful. And pay cash for the wedding. It all matters. You know, it's not enough if your wedding's $30,000, but it's plenty if your wedding is $10,000.
Yeah, that's
so. You know, it's all about the wedding budget as to whether that 25 works or not. I don't know how much of that you're going to spend on the wedding. So. I like the conversation that you're having with her dad. That means you're a young man of honor, and her dad is stretching you and her to do this the right way. That's cool.
It is. It's good to see that. And you know, real quick thing here. I would adjust the wedding budget based on if you're going to be hustling to get to 25. Let's adjust that budget. You know, I mean, you can always do great trips as we get together in marriage. We're debt free. We stay debt free. We live like no one else. The cost of weddings, Dave, can get really outrageous quickly.
I've heard the rumor.
Yeah.
This is the Ramsey Show.
We were drawn to Christian Healthcare Ministries because we both had young families and we wanted to have more children. And we had also just started a real estate company and needed to find healthcare coverage that would meet our needs. We were attracted to CHM because of its low monthly costs and the ability to negotiate medical costs down.
Established in 1981 and accredited by the Better Business Bureau, CHM is here to meet the needs of your growing family or small business. Check us out at chministries.org/budget.
We absolutely believe in it.
Struggling with debt, you know what it's like to be scared. You know what it's like to be overwhelmed, where you can't even think straight. I've been there too. You don't have to live like that anymore. When you pay off all your debt as fast as possible, you will never have that kind of stress in your life again. And you can do this. Here's where you start. Millions and millions of people have gone through and gotten out of debt by going through Financial Peace University. They've learned how to pay off their debt, take control of their money, and you can stream all 9 lessons right now. And you get some extra support by going through the class with others. And the only way to get Financial Peace University is with a Ramsey Plus membership. You can get rid of the debt that's holding you back and end the cycle of worry and stress. Start the free trial of Ramsey Plus by texting trial to 33789. Text trial to 33789. 8-9. Our question today comes from Blinds.com. Find out for yourself why Blinds.com is the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings. Free samples, free shipping, and with new promos they run all the time, you'll save even more. Use the promo code Ramsey to get the best possible deal.
Today's question comes from Alex in Alabama. He writes in, I'm single, 25 years old, in the military, and on baby step 3B with $170,000 in investments. I've always wanted to be a pilot, and I'm halfway through the process of getting my commercial license. If I stay in the military, it will take me 3 more years to get the license and qualifications to be a pilot. It will only take 4 months if I pursue it full time. I'm afraid the aviation industry will recover soon, and I'll miss the employment wave, so I want to get the license ASAP to de-risk my situation. Burning bridges in the military and taking a step backwards career-wise is holding me back? Should I leave the military now to pursue flying full time? Okay, there's so much here, Dave. First of all, I'm afraid that the aviation industry will recover sooner and I'll miss the employment wave. That's not true. There's always going to be a need for pilots. That's a false narrative that's creating some unnecessary pressure. I also have questions about burning bridges in the military. I don't know why in the world you would need to burn bridges. If you're leaving honorably and you're leaving from the military to go into the marketplace to pursue a future, you don't have to burn bridges. If you're a jerk and you leave the wrong way, that's the only way you're burning a bridge. So don't quite understand that. You have two options here. If you want to take your time and financially it's more viable for you to finish out the 3 years, or you stay in the military and then get the license, that's fine too. But if you're 25, you've got some good investments and you've planned for this financially to go full time for 4 months, you got to have living expenses. You don't want to go backwards financially for the 4 months that you got to go full on to get the pilot's license. So I don't think there's a bad decision. If it's me, I'm planning for this and I'm going to go for the 4-month option and I'm not going to look back. But you can't let fear of something that's not real hold you back here, Dave.
What I can't tell from the email is if he has served his
That's
time,
what we're not clear on,
his time that he has promised the military.
Yeah.
And if he's, you can't just walk out. That's not.
And I think that's what he's alluding to.
That's not burning the bridge. That's just not an option.
Yeah, you can't do
it. You can't just walk away. You said, we're going to serve 4 years. You're going to serve 4 years.
That's correct.
Or whatever it is you signed up for. What was your tour? And so now when your time is up, if you're referring to burning bridges, because somebody's going to get their feelings hurt that you left the military, well, that's on them. That's not on you. You just don't be a jerk and you say, I've enjoyed my time here and I've enjoyed serving my country and I'm going to move on with my career if your time is up. So if you can leave without doing something illegal or breaking a contract and be done in 4 months, that's what you should do.
Yeah.
But not because the whole aviation industry is going to evaporate in the next 3 years. If it's going to evaporate in the next 3 years, why are you going into it in the first place? That's a dumb plan. It's like you're going to get the one job that's left, and you're never going to need another thing ever.
They're going to hire everybody, and you're
going to be the last one. No, that's a completely false narrative.
Yeah.
But again, it has to do. I can't tell from what I don't know what burn bridges means here.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I'm assuming he realizes you just can't walk from the military.
You would think
you can't just show up and ghost them. Like, hey, I'm out.
I think I'm gonna get my 2-week notice. I don't think that's the way that works.
Doesn't work that way.
I don't think that's how that works. All right, Tyler's with us. Tyler is in Salt Lake City. Hi, Tyler. What's up?
Hey, guys. Thanks for letting me join you today.
Sure. How can we help?
Hey, so I just kind of have a unique job situation. So we're in baby step 4, 5, and 6, and I'm a professor at a university. And so they put 15% of my income to a retirement account every paycheck. They do free tuition for my kids. And our plan is to get the house paid off in the next 4 years. But I wonder if what I should be doing in terms of that 4, 5, and 6, in addition to maybe doing some remodels to the house that my wife really wants.
Okay. Well, baby step 4 is 15% of your income going into retirement, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that gets you the full match, right?
So they do that without a match. So they do 15%. I don't put in any. They put in 15%.
Okay. Well, that's just a nice benefit. Okay, that's wonderful. But you need to be putting 15% of your income into retirement. That's baby step 4.
Okay.
You knew that was baby step 4, right?
Yeah, I knew that was baby step 4. I just thought, I've been listening to you for 5 years, and a few years ago, when someone had a big retirement like that, you would say, well, maybe you do 5 or 7% and throw a little more towards the house. But lately, I've been hearing you say, do the full 15 no matter what they do.
A big retirement? You mean like the amount they're putting in, or have you got $1 million already in there?
No, so I have about $150,000 in there already.
You don't have a big returement. That's a little retirement.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, you're talking about the amount they're putting in. I think the only time I have said that, and I one of the few things I am is actually consistent. So I think the only times I have said to lower it down to that to 7% or something is not based on how much they were putting in, but mandatory placement. Like there are some positions where they require you to put 12% into a program that's like a pension plan or something, and then do I need to put 15% more on top of that? No, we back that off, or they're going to furnish this or that. So anyway, you can do whatever you want, but I would recommend you put 15% of your income in, and that you take care of kids' college, and then you work to pay off your house and remodel your house out of the balance. And that's that's pretty consistently what we teach. So, hey, thank you. Robin is with us. Robin is in Nashville. Hey, Robin, what's up?
Hi, Dave. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Sure.
I really appreciate it.
Sure.
I've listened to you for years and years.
Okay.
I'm calling because I have an interesting situation. I've been married for almost 25 years, live about 10 hours away from our in-laws and the rest of my entire husband's family. They own his parents they own a lake house, and they came to us recently and asked if we'd like to buy in. They own it outright, but they told us in the next couple of years they would like us to make a monthly payment to keep it running, and then they would then turn it over to us in about the year 2023. My husband and I kind of sat down and did the math and decided to not do that.
Good.
His other two siblings opted in. We opted out.
Good.
But there's two problems there. Number one, we're the only weirdos that left the family and left the state, and we're also weird because we follow your plan to a T and are debt free except for our house. So,
and you're 10 hours away from the lake house, so there's no reason to buy into it.
Right.
Yeah.
But they see
Logical.
us as having a lot of money, and so why wouldn't we? Because it's such a small
Because
amount
we don't
of
want to, and it's our money.
Correct. Yes, exactly. And now they are going around the family telling everyone that we have opted out of our inheritance.
Well.
And I'm struggling how to explain to them that's not inheritance.
I just wouldn't. Just let them do whatever they're going to do. I mean, they're just being butts. You can't make somebody not be a butt. So, hurts your feelings, though. But you didn't opt out of anything. You opted out of a dumb plan. Good for you. And if they're not going to leave you something because of that, oh well, that's okay. Move on with your life. I mean, it's sort of sad. People trying to control people. In the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage, Adam and Aaron are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Good.
Great.
Welcome. So good to have you. Where do you guys live?
Mount Vernon, Iowa.
All right. Welcome to Nashville. So good to have you. And here to do a debt-free scream.
That's right.
How much have you paid off?
We paid off $266,000.
Woo! How long did this take?
Took about 13 years.
Okay. And your range of income during that time?
We started out about $85,000 and went up to about $195,000.
Wow, nice. What do y'all do for a living?
I'm a manager release engineering team at a software company. And my wife.
I teach second grade.
Good. Very cool. $266,000, 13 years. That must mean you paid off your house.
We did pay off.
Whoop, 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 whoop. Looking at weird people. I love it. How old are you two?
I'm 46.
I'm 45.
And you did it before 50 years old. That is so weird. I love it. What's this house worth?
I think right now it's probably worth at least $350, but it's hard to say.
Very nice. Good for you. How's it feel to not have a payment in the world?
So happy.
Yeah, feels
That's
good.
amazing. Well done. $266,000 paid off, 13 years. So you just been working it the way you're supposed to work it, just living life, living on a plan and knocking
Slow and
it out.
steady, yep. Yeah.
So what's the story behind this? What got you started 13 years ago?
So 13 years ago, I was on a business trip in about 2008 and coming back, and I wasn't in control of the radio. And your show came on. And I had never heard you before at all, but a lot of it was kind of speaking to me, and listened to that for probably a solid hour on the way back, and got home and did the searches on the internet and found what your baby steps were, and I kind of followed that for a little bit. But we probably didn't kick it in for another 2 or 3 years, but certainly we were headed that direction anyway. Both of our parents are very conservative. I think the only thing that would have been acceptable was a car and a house payment, but we wanted to get out of all that. We have 4 kids. They're age 22 down to 13 now. And so it was just kind of slow and steady. And it was hard for us particularly because I think, you get into that medium income, and we didn't have a lot to cut out that a lot of other families might, right? We didn't have a lot of traditional consumer debt to take out the equation. But so yeah, it was a lot slow and steady. I did FPU. I facilitated that for you guys a number of times over the years, and we did it ourselves.
That gives you a boost.
Yeah, it helped. It certainly helped.
It's hard to not do the things we teach when you are the freaking teacher.
Yeah,
you have to do it. It's like hypocritical weird. Yeah, if you don't, I don't really do all that. No, that wouldn't work. Yeah.
Yep.
That very good.
I got to ask you about the promotion over that 13-year period. You go from 85 to 165.
95.
Oh, was it
195?
Oh, I'm sorry. Couldn't read my own writing. 195. So what happened there? What was that journey?
I stayed home with our kids when they were little, and then I did open my own preschool, and I did that for a few years, and I've done in-home daycare along the way too, to always earn us some extra money. But then I did start teaching full-time about 9 years ago, so that was part of that jump.
So that added a big chunk of that.
And just, good. Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, certainly I've moved up. I've been at the same company for 24 years. I worked for Pearson Education, and I've had a very successful career there. I'm very happy for it. But she's the workhorse, right? Even when she was home with the kids, she was kicking butt, figuratively.
In some cases, literally. Yeah. Good, very good, you guys. What do you tell people the key to getting out of debt is?
I would really, like Adam said, we always spent conservatively, so we probably jumped into our home a little bit ahead of schedule financially, but it was where we wanted to be and where we knew we wanted to raise our family. So that kind of pushed us back a little bit, but it was just a slow, steady race. But I am excited because we did say some no's, when, other people were doing vacations or, spending a little more frivolously. So I am, our oldest, just got married a couple of weeks ago. And I'm excited for, the next chapter of our lives and be able to say a few more yeses, to some of the fun things.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
You're in really good shape to do that.
Yeah.
You don't have any payments.
Right. Nope.
I love it.
Yeah. Me too.
That's so fun.
I know you're a car guy, Dave. I've driven a Prius for over 10 years now, and I have 4 younger brothers that would say that was not the manliest car on the planet. But so I've wanted a truck forever, and I've told her about it forever. I have a young nephew that would always ask me, Uncle Adam, when are you getting a truck? When are you getting your truck? And for a while I told him, Erin said I can't get it. And then I had to take that back because it wasn't true. But finally, last year with COVID and with a wedding on the horizon, another graduation on the horizon, I did flip the script, and I wanted to wait until after the mortgage was paid off to get it. And I know that's really not your principles, and I've heard you speak that a number of times, and we decided to get the truck last year and finish off the mortgage this year.
Cool. Good for you. That's a normal thing. That's good. That's the way it should go. I like this. You guys are heroes. Well done.
Thank
You're
you.
free. You set yourself free. I'm so proud of you. Excellent job. Well, we've got a copy of The Legacy Journey for you. That's the next chapter in your story. You're leaving a legacy to these kids. These weddings are starting to happen. Next thing you know, grandbabies will be coming along. Life is good, man.
Yes.
And I'll go visit Papa in his truck. There you go. I like it. It's good stuff. Good stuff. Also, a copy of the Total Money Makeover for you to give away and pay it forward. Great. Get somebody started on their journey as well. So, really good job, you guys. Excellent work. And thanks again for being coordinators as well.
Okay.
Adam and Erin from the Cedar Rapids, Iowa area. $266,000. House and everything! Paid off in 13 years, making $85,000 to $195,000. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1. We're debt-free!
Excellent job. Absolutely incredible. That is fabulous. That's how it's done. So what we're seeing, Ken, over and over and over again are these, what I'm now starting to call baby steps millionaires. The people that have followed the baby steps, and there they sit with a $350,000 paid-for home.
Wow.
We didn't ask about their retirement accounts, but we know that during that 13 years that they've also been investing in the 401k because they were following our steps precisely. So we know there's a chunk there. And so they might not be millionaires right there today. We didn't quiz them on that, but they're very close.
At mid-40s.
And by their mid-40s they will be. Yeah. Or they're in their mid-40s.
They're in their mid-40s.
By the time they hit, actually the millionaire study that we did, the average millionaire that we studied out of 10,000 of them was 52.
Wow.
So they're going to be right on that.
Yeah.
They're going to be right on that. Yeah. And they're going to get their first $1 million net worth with a paid for home and with a pile of money in your 401k following the baby steps. And so we see a lot of times it's about a third, like you got about $1.5 million net worth, you got about a $500,000 paid for house, and you got about $1 million in your 401ks and your Roth IRAs. We see that pop up all the time with these baby steps millionaires. It's it's really, it's not billionaires.
No.
If you want to be a billionaire, you really shouldn't use the baby steps because you're not going to get there ever.
Oh, that's right.
Because $1 billion is 1,000 million. So if you have $10,000 mathematically on a ratio basis, you are closer to being a millionaire than a millionaire is to being a billionaire. Ha!
Yeah.
But everybody thinks of millionaires as being like the same kind of rich as billionaires. Millionaires don't have private jets. Millionaires don't drive $250,000 Lamborghinis. Millionaires don't have 4 extra vacation homes. Those are things that billionaires do. Now, if you want to be a billionaire, you need to use a different formula. The baby steps won't get you there in this lifetime. But if you want $1 to $10 million, and that's your target, baby steps will get you there.
We heard over and over, slow and steady. 13 years they did it. They stayed with the baby steps. 13 years, and now look at them. The best is yet to be for this couple.
Scripture of the day, 2 Corinthians 5:17. Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, the new creation is come. The old is gone, the new is here. Our friend John Maxwell says, talent is a gift, but character is a choice. There you go. I mean, you guys are stressed out or hurting because you've been worried about this stock market going one direction or the other. Maybe 2020 scared you to death. Maybe you need to get somebody in your corner, like a conscientious investment pro, to teach you. These are called SmartVestor pros around our place. They're people that we have vetted. They have the heart of a teacher. They'll walk with you as you learn to build your confidence, and so you can ride the wave of something like a 2020 or the different things that happen in the market, and you just think long-term and think long-term and think long-term. Go to RamseySolutions.com/SmartVestor, and you can find a list of the pros in your area, the SmartVestor pros, and you can choose one and pick out who you're going to work with to put yourself on that track for Baby Steps Millionaire. All right, Sam's with us. Sam is in Shreveport. Hi, Sam. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Thank you for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
I had a question on baby steps 4, 5, and 6. And my question is about concerning the investing of 15% of my income. My employer does not offer any 401k of any kind.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was wondering, what should I invest in after I max out the Roth IRA?
Are you married?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Do you have any self-employment income?
No, I do not.
Okay. All right. Yeah, your Roth is all you've got available to you then. You max that out, and then if you want to do something else, you just buy some mutual funds, get with your SmartVestor Pro like we were just talking about, and what you're looking for there is a low turnover mutual fund, a low turnover ratio on the mutual fund, like a 4 or 5% or less turnover ratio. An easy way to find that is an S&P 500 index fund. Most of those are low turnover. What low turnover means is they don't sell the stocks. Mutual funds are a group of stocks, and they never sell, or almost never sell, 95% of the time, the stocks in there. And so as those stocks go up in value as a group, you do not pay taxes on the gain until you cash it out. This is a capital gain is what we're dealing with here. If the mutual fund sells the stocks inside of there, all of the gains are activated each year and you have to pay taxes on them. So when you're buying a low turnover mutual fund, it's kind of like buying a rental property where if it goes from $200,000 to $300,000 in value, you don't pay taxes on that $100,000 increase in value until you sell it. And so that gives you the same effect of that in a low turnover mutual fund, and that's the best option you've got left to you at this point. And then over time, you'll probably end up in a different employment situation. Maybe you'll add some self-employment income, which you could then do a SEP, a simplified employee pension plan, additionally, if you had some little bit of extra income. Nathan's in Amarillo. Hi, Nathan. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave. Hey, Ken. How are y'all?
Great, man. What's up?
Good. Hey, so I am a 21-year-old. I've got 1 year left in college. I'm about to be a senior. And I've got about $12,000 sitting in my savings. I'm wondering if I should do something else with it because I feel like it's not it's just sitting in my savings. I'm not making any money off of it.
What are you studying?
I'm studying energy finance and management.
Good for you. Excellent.
Thank you.
Well, I mean, Nathan, you're going to need that money to either finish school debt-free or make the transition after school, the transition being a move to maybe a different city, maybe some travel to do some interviews. So that money is best used to invest in Nathan rather than worrying about some kind of mutual fund investment at this point. You are a better investment than a mutual fund is. You're going to make more return on it by using it to ensure that you graduate debt-free, ensure that you're able to make your transitions without any it just gives you a little grease in the wheel, right, Ken?
Yeah, absolutely. What do you want to do? You have a good idea specifically? I know the industry that you're headed to, but what would be that great job right out of college?
So that's the thing. I've been thinking a lot about that. I'm not entirely sure. I have a insurance sales job that has been asking me to work for them down in college, but I'm thinking about learning a trade and hoping to become some type of owner-operator of a certain trade.
Fascinating. Well, let me tell you something.
Why would you not use your degree?
Yeah.
That's true. That's very true.
I'm just wondering.
Oh, no. What's the actual answer?
I don't know. That's the thing is I really don't know what I want to do. And I just know that I do want to do something with my degree to where I'm talking to other people and helping other people. I don't want to sit behind a desk and not talk to anyone.
Well, but when you say energy finance, I've never heard of that degree. Does that mean that you're specializing in financing in the energy industry?
Sure. So oil and gas, renewable energy, stuff like that.
Are you interested in
financial aspect of it.
Are you interested in finance?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I mainly picked it up because I had enough time to pick up another major. And but I think that I like finance, don't get me wrong, but I would like to do something more in the management aspect.
Yeah, so play that out. What trade, I'm not holding you to this, but what trade are you thinking about? And then eventually working your way through the trade, maybe owning your own business. What are we talking about?
So honestly, it could be anything. I've had HVAC stands out to me just because I've had a million problems with HVAC, and the companies that I'm using and talking to are terrible at their job. And I'm sitting here thinking that I could run that something like an HVAC business tremendously better than the people I'm talking to.
Well, it sounds like you still got a lot of searching to do, but if you really love the trades yourself, meaning you enjoy solving problems with your head and your hands, and then you work your way up and eventually own your own business, and that finance background, that's not going to hurt you. But either way, Dave's advice is absolutely right. Let's say you pursue the trades coming out of college, you're going to need some of that money to potentially do some trade certification.
You need to quit picking your career based on convenience and what's just in front of you. You need to start thinking about what's in your heart. Because you picked up this major just because it dropped in front of you, and you didn't really give it a lot of thought. And now you're picking up HVAC because you once had an HVAC guy didn't show up on time. That's not the way you need to analyze this. I mean, if you want to find businesses that suck and get into one of those industries, the entire world's open to you, because there's always in any industry there's businesses that suck.
But let me ask you a question. You are intrigued by the trades, yes or no, or is this a fancy?
No. I'm sorry.
I mean, go ahead.
No,
go ahead.
Are you intrigued by the trades, or do you really like the idea of working in the trades? It's something that personal interaction with people, solving a problem. Is that what's drawing you, or is it just a fancy?
So, Ken, it's not necessarily the trade itself. It's owning my own business and doing something better than my competitors and helping people out along the way.
Okay. All right, so you have an entrepreneurial drive. So you better do your homework on this, because here's what happens. Dave's exactly right. I've had a bad experience with some HVAC companies, and I'm going to start an HVAC company. You're going to wake up 6 months into that, and you're going to be miserable because it's not what you thought it was. You better figure out what problem you're trying to solve. So here's a 3-part question for you. For an entrepreneur to start something, what problem do I want to solve? All right.
And it's not one that makes money.
Yeah.
And it's not an industry that needs your help.
Yeah, it's like I have a burning desire to solve this problem on behalf of people. So who are the people and the problem that I'm helping? I'm solving a problem. I'm helping people. And then what's the solution you get most excited about in solving that problem? If you can figure that out, now you've got something that it's not just a business that allows you to work for yourself and not work for the man.
And if you don't do that, you're going to be a typical entrepreneur who's jumping from idea to idea every 20 seconds.
Because you have zero juice for the actual business itself.
And so you run to one thing, abandon it, run to another, abandon it, and it's just ADD in the marketplace thing. I know, because I'm an entrepreneur too. And so we all have 27 ideas in a minute. It's just part of the way we're wired. So be careful with that. It's very important to figure out what's burning inside of you and then go do that, not go look for something of convenience. Bad plan. Good hour, Ken.
Thank you, sir.
Good hour, James Childs and Kelly Daniel in the booth. I am Dave Ramsey, your host. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus.
Did you know you can listen to The Ramsey Show on your smart speaker? Just tell Alexa, Google Assistant, or Siri to play The Ramsey Show podcast. Check out all Ramsey Network shows on your smart speaker today.